The NFL season has now hit its midway point officially. Through with week 8, on to week 9. We have a lot going on this week. We have a few teams on bye, but a lot of games. Let's go ahead and get right into this video. So first, we'll just start with my record so far. As you can see, not a great week in week 7, but recovered nicely with a 12-4 prediction week in week 8. Only missed a couple rough games, Steelers-Jaguars, I missed that one roughly. I missed the Bengals game, Bengals winning over the Niners, but okay. And the Chiefs losing the Broncos. But honestly, those 3 are fine. I don't know who the other one was. Either way, 64-42 overall. This week on bye, the Lions, the Broncos, the Jaguars, and the 49ers. So, just 4 teams. We will have a lot of games to cover. Let's get into this. So, the Pittsburgh Steelers go take on the Tennessee Titans, the Titans go to Pittsburgh to take on the Titans, or the Steelers, whatever. You get the point at this point. These offensive ranks are based off of Pro Football Reference and defense based off Fox Sports, so there might be a little bit of discrepancies between the two. But, either way, Steelers' offense has not been good. Their defense has been very good. The Titans' offense has not been great. The defense has been pretty good. It is what it is. However, the Titans are starting Will Levis, who had a great first week. They did trade out Kevin Byard, bringing in Terrell Edmonds, so there's a little bit of trade deadline movement there. But honestly, this is a decent one because of the fact that they're 2 teams trying to scrap for playoff positioning. But here's the thing. Will Levis, as much as I do like him as a prospect and as a player, I do kind of think the Steelers have the upper hand here. This is a player who had a great week 1, and really all he can go is down. So if he goes up, that's amazing. But really, you're going to expect him to play a little bit worse than last week just because last week he was so good. I'm going to say the Steelers are able to take this one. I'm going to take them most weeks. I really just am. I'm a Steelers fan. It is what it is. Either way, maybe hopeful, maybe hopeless. I don't know. Steelers are going to win this week. Moving on to an 8:30 a.m. game. First game in Frankfurt, Germany. Here we have the Chiefs and the Dolphins. 2 major teams this season. Obviously, as you can see, the number 1 offense versus the number 1 defense. Technically, Kansas City is home in this game, but who cares about that? Either way, this is a pretty huge game. I mean, they're both 6-2. They're both top of the AFC. They're both hoping for the Super Bowl. There's a lot here. And the thing about this game is interesting is the Dolphins have not had any success against good teams. Both the Bills and the Eagles, they lost. So, where are they going to stack up to the Chiefs? You'd think they'd kind of follow that same trend, but I'm actually thinking they will recover from that trend and, flip the script a little bit. They win this game and move to 7-2 while the Chiefs fall to 6-3. The Chiefs have been rough this season. They just lost to the Broncos, and I think they're going to lose again this week. Moving on, back to the 1 o'clock section. Falcons versus Vikings. Vikings lost Kirk Cousins for the year. Yikes. They also traded starting guard Ezra Cleveland to the Jaguars. Clearly, they didn't think he needed him that much. They picked up Josh Dobbs from Arizona. I don't know if he'll play this week. It's kind of fast to get him in there playing already, but maybe he will. Either way, they're still trying to win, I guess, but I don't know how serious that is exactly. I mean, their offense has been good, and here's the thing. You have Jordan Addison, you have Justin Jefferson here shortly. You can still maybe do some good things, but it's just how much of that is going to be realistically done, I don't know. I'd like to say, they'd be fine, but I don't know. They're playing the Falcons, and the schedule throughout does get easier. I will take the Vikings this week, but a little bit reluctantly. This one could be a really close one. Moving on to Cardinals versus Browns. Cardinals are one of the worst teams in the NFL. They are also starting Clayton Tune from here on out, and that's just not the best sign in general. I mean, Clayton Tune, I think he was interesting coming out of college. Yes, he was a late-round quarterback no matter what, but he had a lot of starts, and I like that in a college player. Maybe he can be fine. I think he will be okay. Nothing special. Maybe just establish himself as a career backup. But as a 7th or round pick or whatever he was, that's not really that big of a deal. Make yourself a career. Not necessarily an outstanding one, but a career. It's good enough. And Cleveland, they're on a little bit of a skid here. They lost to Seattle. And, without Deshaun Watson, this team's just got a lower ceiling in general. So, will they be able to win and keep the Cardinals on their losing streak? I bet they hope so, and they will, in my prediction. But this is a game the Cardinals could win. I'd be watching out for this one. Moving on, the Green Bay Packers and the LA Rams. Packers are on a huge skid. I think they won 2-0, or maybe they're 1-1 and then 2-1, and they've lost since. Not been great. Jordan Love is just skidded. The whole offense is skidded. They just traded away one of their starting corners in Rasul Douglas to the Bills, which was a great trade for the Bills. But for them, not the best. Yeah, not great. The Rams are, they're the Rams. They have 3 good players on offense, and that's about it. I don't really remember if they did much this trade deadline. I'm trying to think through things. No, they didn't. But yeah, I mean, what are we gonna do here? I don't know. I think the Rams keep fighting for it, and the Packers really fall out of the race here. This is kind of their last chance to stay in. If they lose this game, it's game over for the Packers this season. They're not going to be able to recover. Playoffs are out of the picture if this happens, but that's my prediction so far. Moving on to Patriots versus Commanders. I saw a news article today that the Commanders are looking to trade for Bill Belichick in the offseason. Just an interesting little tidbit to throw in there. They offloaded both Montez Sweat to the Bears and Chase Young to the 49ers. Interesting there. They got a great pick from the Bears, so go for it. But, not terrible value for either player, honestly, in my opinion. But I just, they're shipping their season out. The Pats could have really used something, but they didn't really do anything either. I mean, I don't really blame them a ton. But, these are both going to be rough teams. However, I'm going to take this prediction based off of what quarterback can win a game, and that at this point is Sam Howell. He at least is a, competent quarterback in that sense, and, I really do like Sam Howell. I've seen a lot from him this season in the short amount he has played, and he's a game maker, a game breaker, whatever. I don't know. That wasn't English. Either way, they're going to win this game. The Pats are going to fall to probably the worst record they've had ever in the last, 30 years. Moving on. Bears versus Saints. This one, if Tyson Bagent's still starting, there's no question here. He's the thing about Tyson Bagent, and Chris Collinsworth was 100% right. Justin Fields needs to watch his tape because Justin Fields doesn't know how to throw a ball out of bounds and just, save another down. He doesn't know how to do that. And fans got so mad at Chris Collinsworth for saying that because that's just not right, but it's 100% right. Tyson Bagent, he may not have the ability to play quarterback, but he has the knowledge and wherewithal to do the things that a quarterback needs to do. Justin Fields has some ability, but he has the talent, but not the ability. Let me say that. He doesn't know what to do. He just doesn't keep up, and it's all up here. It really is. It's all there. Justin Fields is just not a good quarterback, and they're going to be looking to get a quarterback in the draft this year, I almost promise you. Also, what in the world are they thinking by trading for Montez Sweat? They're not anywhere near good enough. Some people are saying, well, this is just free agency in the regular season, trying to buy a player and, get them before they have to bid for him later. I don't still see how this is worth it. You just gave up a second-round pick. Yes, is Montez Sweat a second-round level player? Absolutely. That'd be if you picked him in the second round, that'd be great. However, he's on an expiring contract and can leave if he wants to. And if that happens, oh my gosh, his trade is incredibly bad. And 2, he's already 27. He's not a 22-year-old second-round pick. So this is just a terrible trade by a terrible team. So, yeah, Saints are going to win this one, if you were surprised by that at all. Moving on, Seattle versus Baltimore. Huge game here. Seattle's been on a tear lately, and Baltimore, their record and their rankings are better than they've been, in my opinion. I just don't see them being as good as this record shows so far. The offense just isn't there. They've barely won games. They've gotten out of things. They don't make mistakes, but they just don't do great things. So, yes, it's winning games. That's good. And it's more convincing than the Chiefs have been so far, but I'm still not committed to this yet. I don't see it working at this moment. So, with that said, before I get there, Leonard Williams was traded to the Seattle Seahawks. That's a huge trade for them. Could be very helpful. That D-line needed some help. They already have some good secondary going with Quandre Diggs and 2 corners, Woolen and Witherspoon. That front 7 needed help, and Leonard Williams is a great player to grab to get some help. Excuse me. But, yeah, that's a thing of its own. That defense might get a little bit better. Probably will, for sure, honestly, get some power up in front. Seattle's going to win this game, and the Ravens are going to be exposed, I think, here. This is a week for them, about on schedule, where, Ravens start kind of falling apart this time of the year. So, just get ready for it to happen again, because it's going to. The Bucks, the Texans. Bucks were doing great for the first half of the season so far, and then fell off a cliff. The Texans, kind of the same way. They did very decent, and now they're doing not great. Last week, lost to the Carolina Panthers, and that's bad enough. the Buccaneers and the Texans didn't really make any moves at the trade deadline, so not much to see there. But, you know, really this is just based off who has a better quarterback and better team in general, and that's just going to be the Buccaneers. I mean, there's not really a whole lot of debate there. The Texans are going to start falling off here and probably just going to start looking for some draft capital, seeing what they can do with their picks they have, and really trying to build this team up for the future. Panthers and Colts. Panthers are 26th ranked in both. Colts have been a good offense, but a bad defense, really bad defense. I don't think either team made a trade here either. Not that I can remember, at least. Either way, this is a game that's just, this one really could go either way. It really depends on if the Panthers offense can really do anything. I mean, the defense is so bad for the Colts that they should be able to do a lot of things, but when you're bad at offense, it's easy to be beaten by a bad defense too. So, Panthers, I do have another win coming their way. I'm going to get 2 in a row. I think Bryce Young's just getting a little more comfortable, and against a bad defense, this is perfect timing to do something. The only way this doesn't happen is if Jonathan Taylor just runs over the Carolina defense. That's about it. I think it might happen too. I'm just going to be on the bold side and take the Panthers this week. Moving on, Raiders-Giants, a crappy game. Not looking forward to this at all. The worst offense and a bad offense versus one of the two of the worst defenses. Well, Giants' defense has not been that bad, but they just traded one of the better players on their team in Leonard Williams, which I got a good pick out of it, so I'll give them that much. But I don't know. Their Raiders are officially starting Aiden O'Connell. They didn't trade Devontae Adams. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they're starting Aiden O'Connell. Makes more sense. Just get the new guy in. See if he can do anything for your team to, like, just develop your future. But at the same time, it's Aiden O'Connell. The Giants are going to win this one. I don't really care who's starting at quarterback, unless it's Danny DeVito. If Daniel Jones or Tyrod Taylor starts, they'll win this game for sure. If it's Danny DeVito, give it to the Raiders. Eagles and Cowboys in one of the 3 o'clock games. Huge game this week, and this will shut up a lot of fans. Cowboys have been so good at everything, apparently. The Eagles, their defense has been lacking, but the offense is there. Just one of the better teams in the league, really. 2 of the better teams in the league, to be honest with you. Though the Cowboys are not on the Eagles' level, and that's going to prove out this week for sure. I think this is not going to be much of a game. I think the Eagles are going to run away with this one. The Eagles are going to look like themselves. Maybe the Cowboys do win. It's a divisional game. Anything happens in divisional games. But I have a lot of hope in the Eagles this week. I think they're ready to try to start proving teams wrong, and the Cowboys are a great one to start with. Bills-Bengals. Bills did get Rasul Douglas, and that was a really good trade for them. They gave up a 3rd-round pick and got him and a 5th. Rasul Douglas is probably going to be their CB1 pretty much instantly after Tre'Davious White being out, of course. But big for them. Cincinnati didn't do anything at the deadline, but you know, I don't know what they were planning on doing anyways. They're getting there. They're getting there. Joe Burrow had a really good week last week. He's kind of getting back to form a little bit. This is one of the, heavyweight matchups of the year, and we're ready to see this one. This is an exciting game coming up on here. Those offensive defensive numbers can't be right. The Bills are not the 25th offense. That was not fixed. I don't know. Sorry, that's my bad. Either way, yeah, this is a Sunday night game, and I'm ready to see this one already. Like, this is the game of the week, and it doesn't matter what else happens. I'll be ready for this. I'm taking the Bills. I think they're the better team. The defense for the Bengals has been good, but not great. The offense has also had its issues. I think the Bills get in here, and they really work them. Maybe the Bengals do win. It's possible, and especially a game like this. And, me as a person who's a Steelers fan not liking the Bengals, I kind of hope they win because I feel like the Bills would win later on in the season. But either way, that's just me and, trying to be predictive. I really hope the Bengals do lose, though, for the sake of the division for the Steelers. But I have Bills winning. Let's go. I didn't change the times again, so this is Monday night, I think. I don't remember. We'll see if it's the last game. It might be Monday night. Sorry, once again, my bad. Jets, Chargers. This could be an interesting game. It really depends on what version of Zach Wilson we get. Zach Wilson has been very inconsistent, but in an interesting way. He's not been bad. He's just not been great. But do you expect him to be great? No. He's been good, sometimes not really. He's been serviceable a lot of times, so that's good. The defense here is what's going to help. The Chargers offense, though, is a pretty good one, and it's really Justin Herbert's the best player on the field in this game, and that doesn't change anything. They're going to win this game, and, it's just going to be it for the Chargers. So, with that said, I do believe that is our last slide. Yes, it is. That is going to be it for this video. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Who's going to win? Who's going to lose? Tell me if your team's going to win or lose this week, or don't. I can't control you. Thank you for watching. Peace.